Hi, Moses.
Hi,
How are you? Thank you for joining.
thank you.
Awesome. Let's just wait a few minutes. Let's just give people like 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. See if they
Okay,
join.
okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're just giving people, let's see, 2 more minutes
Hi.
to join.
Hello, Sister Stella.
Hi, Jess. Hi,
You good?
Aisha. Yes, yes. Great. So let's just give people 3 more minutes and then we'll get started.
Okay.
I'm just going to get started. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today.
I see Churchill. Hi, Churchill. How are you? Okay. If you can turn your camera on, it'll be good to see your faces. If not, no problem. Okay. I see Moses. Awesome. Okay. So let's get started. Hopefully shouldn't take long. Hi, Aisha. How are you? Okay. I can get started. Let me introduce myself and then I'll introduce our organization and then I will let you guys introduce yourself so we can at least get to know each other. So my name is Stella Odili Sankara. I'm the lead, I guess, servant leader of this organization. It's called Every Youth a Leader, and we are involved in youth development. So since 2016, we've been focused on helping young people discover themselves, discover what's unique about them, give them life skills that will, help improve their lives. And so the reason for starting the organization was because I realized that a lot of young people don't have the skills and the tools they need to like be very successful in life. And so I'm not just talking of money, I'm just talking of all around success. So we wanted to start this organization and just to, help empower young people. So we've been doing that since 2016. The main thing we've done every year is our youth conference. But last year we decided to start putting up we've done trainings, we've done job skills training as well, but in 20 I believe it's 2024 we really started doing social media because we wanted to be able to get content to young people that will help them. And so that's what we've been doing. We're a volunteer organization, so we're by God's grace trusting God to be able to grow to the point where we have a lot of sponsors so we can do much more than what we're doing. But so in a nutshell, that's who I am. That's what this organization is about. So I'm gonna say maybe Moses, if you can go next, since your camera is still. Just introduce yourself. Where are you from? What are you doing? And who introduced you to this organization and things like that. Now, if you're talking, you're muted. So you can unmute yourself. Yeah, still muted, Moses.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
My name is Moses Sonkai from Kenya. Still a student of economics, University of Nairobi. Thank you. Anything else?
How did
Is
you
that
hear
fine?
about our organization?
Oh, this is my second time joining the organization, and it is good. I saw it nice. That's why I'm here for the second time.
Okay, and
Thank you.
who told you about the organization? How did you hear about us?
Oh, my friend, my brother from Kenya called Lema.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you for joining. And then
thank you.
Aisha, if you can go next, just tell us, introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, how you heard about the organization.
Hi, my name is Ajayola Turaisha.
Hey, where are you from? What are you?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm a graduate of Lagos State University.
Also, okay, you graduated. Awesome. What did you study?
Transport management and operations.
Okay, okay. And how did you hear about us?
My friend Anthony told me about a volunteer group, and I'm here now.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you
And
very much.
then Jess.
Yes, my name is Jess Maweu. I'm a volunteer. My goodness, I have a noisy background, sorry. Yes, I'm here as a volunteer to this organization. Yes, I'm a partaker of the skills that I've learned quite some of the skills from this organization. Of course, I owe to Sister Stella. Yeah, I was introduced to this organization by Emmanuel Steve. Emmanuel Emayan is done quite, yes. So I'm
Awesome.
here to push the agenda of the organization.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. And then I don't know, is that Favor? Is that my team member Favor? Is that a new Favor?
Hi.
Okay, Favor, since you're here, okay, introduce yourself to us so that way we get to know you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Favor. I'm from the level student of electronics and computer engineering, studying in LASU, Lagos State University in Nigeria. So I'm a team member of the Every Youth Leader team, and I work hand in hand with my team mates to achieve the goals of this organization. It has really been a nice experience getting to know this organization. I pray God will keep pushing us forward in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so thank you so much. So everyone, thank you so much. I just appreciate you all for coming today. Oh, so there's another person who just joined. Hi, Daniel.
Good afternoon, man.
Hi, how are you? We just finished your introduction, so please introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Daniel Ajose. Um, I'm the head of the media and / graphics team, and I'm a mechanical engineer in Lagos State University, Nigeria. Yeah, that will be the out for now.
All right, awesome. Thank you for joining. So,
Thank you.
Daniel and Favor, they're on our team, and so that you guys are welcome to join, or if you want to wait for the training, that's also fine. But so Aisha, Moses, just wanted to, again, like I said, this is not going to be long. Just wanted to get to know you guys, and then just share a little bit of what we're trying to, by God's grace, achieve this year. So, we really this year we want to really try and reach more young people with the content, because what we're trying to put content that will help young people in their everyday life. And so let me share my screen so you can see some of the initiatives that we're trying to, by God's grace, achieve this year. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Okay. So, we're trying to do this year, just in a nutshell, some of the things we're trying to do. We're trying to do a job skills training, which you'll be hearing about soon. That's what Jessica was Favor they were talking about a few minutes ago. And I believe Daniel also went through it too in the beginning as well. And then we want to do a newsletter, just so what's something we can use to, share information with our network. At some point, we want to try and do a talk show and a news show. Like I told you earlier, we're trying to look for sponsors, because the more money, I feel like if we have more money, we can do more. So if you know of any organization that you think may be willing to sponsor an organization like ours, in terms of, maybe they want to promote their product, and then, with us, please let us know. We're going to be doing our youth conference we usually do it in October, so we're going to try and have our speakers and topics ready this year by July. We want to try and do a competition in September, and then our youth conference in November. What I don't have here is our weekly videos that we've been sending out. So we have a weekly video that we try to send it out every morning. And if you look at it, it's very short. In that video, all we do is we take a simple point that we're trying to get across to our audience, and we, put it in a video format, and, hopefully they'll be able to get something out of it. One of the struggles we've been having at our video is that we don't have a lot of views, we don't have a lot of interaction. So for those of you all that are here today, what we want to ask you guys to do is to help us when you see that video on Mondays, when we share the links, please, if you can help us watch as many times, help us share the video, and then help us like, comment, just interact with the video. And then at the end of the week, if you can send us your feedback on the video, like what did you think was good? What did you think we could improve on? So Aisha, Jess, Moses, you guys would be like what we call like our super, I don't know, super watchers or something. You can watch the video as many times as you want, but then give us feedback because we're trying to improve on what we're doing. And so we're going to be please looking, to you guys to help us out in that area. And so let me think. I think that was the most primary thing we wanted to share with you guys, just to get to know you guys today, and then um introduce ourselves, and then talk about the video. So Daniel, Favor, anything else that we need to discuss? Because I think that was the main thing that we wanted to do today. Anything else?
Yes, ma. I don't know if there's anybody here that still wants to join probably the media team, like volunteers.
Thank you, Daniel. That's a good point. So, this year we're looking for volunteers to help us with what we're doing. So, if you want to volunteer, and again, a volunteer means that is it not, you won't be paid, but you get experience. We're looking for people to help us with our media team. So that's like our videos, flyers. Our team will train you on how to do it. So what you get is experience. You get experience doing that thing. I know, Aisha, you were interested, so we're going to put you in touch with Daniel so that you can start your training. So Moses, I don't know if you're interested in learning, like if you want to try either learn how to create videos and all those things, media or social media, or script writing. If you're interested, just reach out to me, or just reach out to Daniel, or reach out to me, because I don't know if you have Daniel or Favor's information, and we'll train you, and you get what you get from us is experience. Like I said, we're not yet there where we're able to really pay people, but you get the experience and learn how to do those things. So thank you so much for Daniel for reminding us of that. Anything else? Okay. So if there's nothing else, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Probably will be reaching out to the three to Aisha, you and Moses later on, sometime today, or not, maybe not today, early next week. And then we have the vision training in about 11 minutes. So you're welcome to stay online, or you're welcome to leave and then come back. I really encourage you to attend the training, because you'll be able to, if you don't already, learn how to begin to live your life intentionally, and not just live, just not, you're not just a human being with no purpose. You have a purpose. For you to be able to achieve that purpose, you have to be intentional about living. And so that's what the vision training is. We're going to be showing you how to see, or rather how to write down your visions, how to achieve them little by little. So and I encourage you to please attend that training. But for now, this meeting is over. Does anybody else have any other thing to say? Any last minute thing before we end the meeting? All right. Well, if not, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Talk to you in about 10 minutes, and God bless. Thank you.
See you in a few. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I
ma'am,
can
we
hear
can.
you.
Okay. Awesome. How is everyone doing?
Doing
Good,
well,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So does everyone have their pens and paper ready to go? Because it's going to be interactive. Okay. Does everyone have their pens and papers ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. So first of all, welcome everyone. Thank you for giving us about like an hour of your day. We really appreciate it. We don't take it for granted. So with that said, let me share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. So once again, thank you everybody for coming. We're going to be doing a share with you how to cast your vision and how to have goals and plans. So we're going to be actually doing it. So again, just get your pen and paper ready so that you can follow along. So and if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. And I'm just gonna ask my team, please, if you guys can just help me monitor the chat while I'm presenting. So with that, let's get started. So let me play a video. So this is a video of someone who has planned this fantastic vacation, wonderful vacation, and at the last minute, they realized they didn't know where they were going. So imagine putting all this effort into this vacation. You packed your load, you know, prepared, taking all the time you need, and then you realize you don't know where you are going. And unfortunately, sadly, that's where many people are in life. They don't really know where they're going. They have an idea, but they don't really know where they're going. And if you want to live an intentional life, you have to know where you're going, because if you don't, you just be all over the place. And so the importance of having a vision, I cannot overstress. And there's something about the law of sight. If you can see something, not just with your physical eyes, but with your mind's eye, if you can see it, it really makes a difference. And there's a scripture that I like to share. It's called Proverbs 29:18. It says that where there's no vision, the people perish. And so, or the people just behave anyhow, so to speak. So vision is very important. So a vision is the reason why you need to have a vision. It gives you a picture of your future, or it gives you a picture of the future that you want to have. it gives you a sense of purpose. It helps you know what you should do and what you shouldn't be doing. And also, when you have a vision, I encourage you to have a vision for every area of your life. So we are what I call, human beings are what I call multi-dimensional beings, because you have a spirit, you have a soul, so that's your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, that area of your body. You live in of yourself, rather, of your being. You live in a body, right? You have relationships, you have a profession, either you're a student or you're working or you're both. Everybody uses money, and then everybody has leisure time. So I said all that to say there are different dimensions of your existence. So it's good for you to have a vision for each dimension of your existence. So many times, many people will have a vision for one area of their life. Like, for example, they want to be very rich by the time they're 30, but then they don't have a vision for their body. And so many times they achieve that goal, but at the expense of their health. Why? Because they didn't have a vision for their body. Or they achieve that goal, and they don't have a good relationship with their children and things like that. So that's why it's important for you to have a vision for every area of our life. Okay. So I remember, and I said that this is going to be interactive. Okay, so you need a pen and paper because I'm going to be doing this. So I want you to visualize the 7 areas of your life that I just mentioned: your spirit, your soul, your physical body. Think of your relationships. Think that's whether you are with your parents or your siblings or whichever relationships, your team, your children, your spouse. Think of your profession. Are you a student? Think of money. How do you have it? Don't you have it? Do you want more? Don't you want more? Think of what you do when you don't have anything to do. And I want you also to do an exercise right now, okay? We're going to just take a few minutes. Remember, I said this is interactive. So I want you to get your pen and paper out if you have one. I want you to just close your eyes. I'm going to do it with you because I'm learning myself. I want you to close your eyes for a few minutes, okay? I'm just going to give us 2 minutes to do this exercise. I want you to, when you close your eyes, what do you see of yourself now in your future? If you don't see anything, that's a problem. So that means that if you close your eyes and you don't see anything, that means you have to get a vision. That means you need to, this training will help you, but you even need to, before you even do this training, you have to go back and just figure out why you don't have a vision. Is it because you've been disappointed? Is it because you feel there's no point dreaming, nothing ever happens? Or why don't you have a vision? But for those of you who have a vision, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture your life, your ideal life. What's your ideal life? And I want you to write it down. Okay, and I'll tell you why. If you don't write it down, you have not it doesn't register strongly in your brain. But when you write it, you can write it in your phone, you can write it in your iPad, doesn't matter. But we're going to take 2 minutes now. We're going to visualize your perfect future. What does it look like in your spirit? What does it look like in your soul? What kind of thoughts, emotions are you having? How does your body, physical body look? How does your relationship look? How does your finances look? How does your profession look? Do you have a profession? Don't you have a profession? How does your leisure? So let's take 2 minutes now. Let's visualize what our future looks like. Write it down and we'll continue in about 2 minutes. So it's 10:10 now. 10:12. I'll give us 2 minutes to do this exercise. So let's go. Okay, so we're back. I hope you all were able to write down what you saw when you close your eyes. Okay. So I'm going to any questions so far. I'm going to be taking questions as I go because I want to make sure that everyone is following along. Any questions so far? Okay. So, I said this before. A vision for every area of our lives, it gives you balance in your life. Okay. Now, I just want you to keep in mind some of these things. A vision is not time bound, means that a vision doesn't have to come to pass next year or 2 years. It can be years before it comes to pass. So, what I want to encourage you, especially if when you close your eyes you didn't see anything, when you go back to your wherever you're going, your home, wherever that, take some time to dream, start dreaming again, and then dream big because it's not time bound. So you have the opportunity to not only believe that it will come to pass, but you're not limited by time. So dream big, dream even if it's impossible. Just write it down. Write it down. Use pictures and text. So sometimes, and I'm going to give you an example in a few minutes. Go ahead, Lemma. Your hand is up. Team, please help me in case you see people's hands are up and I'm not seeing it. Go ahead, Lemma. Yeah. Lemaya, your hand is up. Did you have a question or something? If you can unmute yourself. Okay. I don't hear anything. So let me continue. So I said you can use pictures and text. So let me give you an example. I was just before this training, I was thinking of some of the things I want to do. One of the things I want to do, I want to learn how to speak properly before people. So you know what I did? I thought about who is a good motivational speaker that I can emulate. And I went online and I saw a picture of John Maxwell. He's one of my favorite, and if you know him, he's a leadership coach. He's one of my favorite speakers. So you know what I'm going to do after this class? I'm going to take a picture of John Maxwell. I'm just going to take a picture. And I'm going to probably write underneath it, coach or something. And he's going to go on my vision board or fridge. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. Okay, someone has a question. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, can everybody hear me now? I'm so sorry. Can everyone hear me well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry about that. Someone said they couldn't hear me well. So, I said the last thing I said was use pictures and text. So in my case, I'm going to use a combination. I'm going to find out who has achieved what I'm trying to achieve. That's one way you can do it. So in my case, John Maxwell is a very good speaker. I want to become a very good speaker because currently I'm not. I'm going to cut out his picture and I'm going to put it on my vision board. And I said, place your vision on somewhere you see it often. Now, remember I told you need to write it down. Writing it down is excellent and it's good, but it doesn't do you any good if you don't see it often. And there's something about our brain. When we see something often, it reminds our brain of where we're trying to go. So some people have a vision board. If you want to, a vision board is just like a board that you just put pictures, and I can try and see if I can find an example. It's just you just put pictures of what you're trying to do and everything like that. That's some people do that. That's fine. Let me show you guys an example of a vision board. Some people do that. You don't have to, but let me show you what it looks like. Okay. So can you guys see these examples? These are examples of vision board. This person uses a combination of pictures and text, as you can see. So that's one example. I typically put my own vision. I do it different ways. I put it on my fridge because the thing about your vision, you want to keep it as much as you can in front of your face. So you want to put it on things that you use often. So for me, like that picture I was telling you about, I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to put it on my fridge because I use the fridge almost every day. I eat, so that I can, as soon as when I walk to the fridge, I see it often. I also have books, like my notebook. So I'm also going to cut out that same picture and put it on my notebook as well. So every time I open the notebook, I can see those pictures. You can do it different ways. You can put it on your phone if you want to. You can put it on your iPad. You know, we live in a technology age now. You can, put a picture of your visions on your phone, put it on your iPad, put it on your notebook. Just the key is put your vision in front of your face so you are seeing it as often as you can to remind your brain that you are trying to go somewhere. You're not just existing, but you're actually moving towards something. Does that make sense? Any questions? So, does that make sense? Any questions? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Any other ideas? Does anyone have an idea of how they do their own vision differently than what I've described that you want to share? Again, we're all learning. Anyone has anything they want to share, different way they do their own vision? No? Okay. All right. So let's move on. So now, once you have your vision, for every area of your life, right? What you want to do in every area. Now, you now have to take it a step further. And you now have to divide your vision into what I call goals, what we call goals. Now, your goals are just a means to an end. So most of the time, our vision is this huge thing. It's big, it's large, it will take us years to achieve it and everything. But you have to be able to take that vision and break it down into what is called goals. Goals are just things that you need to do either in the short term or long term to help you achieve that grand vision that you're trying to achieve. So let's say in my example now, I'm trying to be a very motivational, a good motivational speaker. There are things I can do in my short term, which is like within maybe a few weeks to the end of the year. That's like short term. But there are also things I can do long term that is beyond just this year, 2 years, 3 years down. So when I take that vision of wanting to be a motivational speaker, what I'm going to do, I'm now going to break it down into what are the steps I need to do to achieve this goal. That's what I want to do so that it's practical, because if it's not practical, that vision will just remain a dream. It will never come to pass. So you always want to make your dream practical. So there's something called SMART goals, and I'm sure a lot of us have heard of it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on SMART goals, but I just want to mention it. It means that your goal has to be specific and simple. Your goal has to be measurable. So it has to be measured in terms of time. Is it going to be 3 months, 6 months, a year? How many years? You have to be able to measure it. It has to be achievable. So for example, someone like me now, I cannot say I want to go to Pluto. The planet called Pluto. It's not, is it that it's not, for me, it's not achievable. Why? For me, I'm not interested. That's not something I care about. So I'm not going to do that kind of goal. So your goal has to be something that can be done. Can you do it? Is it possible? If you put in the effort, by God's grace, can you achieve it? That's how you have to put your goal. It has to be achievable. It has to be relevant. So for example, say I want to I shared with you one of my vision. I want to be a very successful motivational speaker. Now, I cannot say one of my goals is to go work in a, I don't know, is to go work in a construction site. Why? Because it's not really working in a construction site is not relevant to be the motivational speaker. So your goals have to be relevant to what you're trying to achieve. That doesn't mean it's bad to work in a construction site. It just means that for the goal I'm trying to achieve is not relevant. It has to be time bound. So you cannot just put a goal and say, oh, and not say when you want to achieve it by. Do you want to achieve it by 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years? You need to put a time. And the reason you put a time is that the time will motivate you to do something. Each and every one of us today, as soon as you leave this training, you can do something about your vision. You can do something. Even if it's one thing you choose to do, we can do something. So let me move on. So this is my own acronym. I like to use acronyms so I can remember what it is the person was talking about. So my thing I'm going to challenge you all is this. When you in your goal, just get going. Don't spend too much time thinking. Just do something. Do something. Okay? Number 2, get organized. Many times we want to achieve a lot, but we're not organized. What do I mean by organized? What I mean is that you know that your goal is specific, correct? Write down all the steps. That's part of being organized. So for example, now my goal is that one of my visions rather is that I want to be a very good motivational speaker. What are the goals I need to do to get there? I have to write it down, and that's part of being organized. So get organized, get specific, get organized. The other thing is that aim high, and I'm going to share a video with you, and then I'm going to ask a question, and if someone can answer this question, I'm going to give them a prize. So hold on, let me switch to my video. I want to share a video with you guys about aiming high. And let me know if you can hear the audio, okay? Okay, can you guys hear this audio?
My guy on my team was dangling
ma'am.
on a wire on a crane.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear it? Okay, great, awesome. Okay, let me start it.
I had to jump off the side of the Victoria Falls Gorge in Africa with a bungee cord attached to me, and my guy on my team was dangling on a wire on a crane 10 feet out from the cliff, and each person had to come up and stand there, and you couldn't run and jump, and you had to stand still and jump, and if he caught you, you were okay, and they'd put you back on the cliff, and if not, you fell 385 feet on a bungee cord. And so I am beyond terrified of heights. It's like one of my, I'm so afraid of heights. I cry on airplanes still during takeoff a lot of times. And I was one of the only people to make the jump. Richard didn't make the jump. All these other guys that were like amazing athletes didn't make the jump. And afterwards, everyone was like, Sarah, how did you make that jump? You're literally like the only contestant. Look at you. I said, well, I was aimed at the pulley 6 feet above his head. Where were you aiming? And I didn't even look at him. I aimed 6 feet above his head, and I landed at his waist, and he caught me. And everybody else was aiming at his face and landed at his feet and missed.
Okay, so now I'm gonna give prizes for this question. Who can tell me who that person is and what company they found? Who? You can put it, you can either unmute yourself and tell me, or you can put it in the chat. And this is going to tell me how well you guys are reading and what you guys are doing with your time. Who can tell me who that lady is? Don't Google it, you guys. Do not Google it. Who can tell me who that lady is and what company she found? Nobody? Okay. All right, so I'll tell you guys who she is. So her name is Sarah Blakely. If you want to Google her, Sarah Blakely. She's the founder of Spanx. It's like a clothing accessory for women. And I encourage you, if you want to look at a story of how of succeeding when you have so many obstacles, that's a good story to live, but to review. But in that story, what she was saying was that they were doing a what do you call it, a challenge. So they had to jump off a cliff, right? And every other person, so they had to jump off a cliff, and somebody else was supposed to catch them when they jumped off the cliff. And so what she was explaining in that video was that every person, elder person, was aiming at the face of the person who was supposed to catch them, but she aimed 6 feet above the person. So she was not aiming for the person's face, but she was aiming 6 feet above the person. And because she was aiming high, when she jumped, the person was able to catch her because she jumped higher than other people were aiming. So I want to challenge you guys today. When you are doing your goals, aim high. If your goal is to get a B, let's say you're a student, your aim is to get a B in a course, aim high. Aim to get an A instead. I mean, aim for the stars, right? And then you may fall on the clouds. But if you aim for the clouds, then chances are that you probably will fall, somewhere in the atmosphere. So aim high. Remember, you lose nothing from aiming high. You don't lose anything. But when you aim high, your body and your mind, everything is geared towards achieving that goal. That's how the brain works, actually. And if you look at geniuses, the brains of geniuses, they are no different than you and I. We are all geniuses. The only thing about genius is they always aim high. They're always thinking of the impossible thing that needs to be done and how it can be done. And they don't take no for an answer. They just believe that it's done. And they refuse to give up. Even when every other person says, give up, give up, give up, they just simply refuse to give up. That's the difference between a genius and those who are not. Everyone is a genius, really, to be honest with you. Everybody has the potential to be a genius. But the only difference is that most people never take the time, number one, to see what they're trying to do. Number two, they never set goals. Number three, they don't aim high enough. Number four, they give up easily. So aim high. My next point in the L is laugh. Don't take it too seriously. Many times we're like, oh, I'm trying to achieve this goal and everything. I can't laugh. I can't go out. I can't take the time to enjoy life. Absolutely not. Look, you only get to live once. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride as you're going. So laugh. Don't take it too seriously. S for me means stumble. Don't be afraid to fail. Okay, all right. I have another question. I'm going to be giving a gift. Now don't Google this, okay? Who can tell me who Mary Kay is and what is she known for? Who can tell me? Can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. That tells me how far you guys are reading or what you guys are, if you guys are really, learning about other people. Mary Kay, what is she famous for? You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Don't Google though, just tell me if you know off the top of your head.
I think she's known for makeup, something like women.
Oh, awesome! Churchill, great, awesome. Yeah, she's very famous for makeup, and so, but she was a very successful businesswoman. One of the things she used to say was that we fail forward towards success. So don't be afraid to stumble. You're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We won't get it right all the time. But the key thing is to keep moving on, keep moving on, keep moving on. And don't be afraid to revisit your visions and your goals, because the thing is, many times in life, things will happen that will change, that will shift your life. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to revisit that vision, revisit that goal. Keep changing it. The key thing is to keep moving on. Sometimes you have a very hectic schedule. You may not be able to do much with your goals and vision. That's okay. No, don't beat yourself down because, oh, you couldn't. No, 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 no. The key thing is keep that vision in front of you and then keep trying by God's grace to keep moving on towards it. Okay, now everybody has their vision from before, right? So because we're gonna do another exercise. So now I want us to do another exercise. Now, if you wrote your vision before, I want you to take one vision, just one. You can do the rest later, but for now, I want you to take one vision that you wrote down. Write down all the steps that you are going to need to achieve to get that vision done. The next thing, I want you to put time to it. How long will it take you to accomplish every step? Is it going to be 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, 5 years? I want you to write it down. Now, when you get back to your house, you can repeat it for the other visions, right? But when we're done, I'm going to tell you how you probably need to prioritize your short-term goals because that's what we're going to use for the next exercise. But for now, I want us to let's just take about 2 minutes. Just pick one vision you wrote down before. For those of you who came late, if you didn't know, we did an exercise before where we wrote our visions down. So now I just want you to take one, write down all the steps that you need to achieve that particular vision, and write down, is this going to be a short term? Anything less than a year, I would say, is a short term goal. Anything longer than a year is going to be a long term goal. So determine when you need to have it done by 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever it is, and then let's come back. So it's 10:34 now. Let's continue at 10:36. So please pull out your paper, your pen, write down your goals for one of your visions. 2 minutes. Okay. Does everyone have some goals that they set, that they determined?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So when you get back to your, place, you can repeat the same for the other visions that you wrote down, set goals for them. Note, like I said, anything greater than a year, I would consider that a long-term goal. And your short-term goals to me is anything that you can do within the year. And so now what you have to do, you have to write down your goals. Remember, when you write it down, you etch it in your brain. So write it down. You can write it in your phone. Some of us use our devices, write in your phone, write in your iPad. But the key thing is that write it down and say, okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve within this year. And I would say your short-term goals will now become, I would say, will become your priority for 2025. Because remember, we're in a brand new year, right? We're trying to be intentional about how we live this year. I would say that your short-term goals should be your priority for this year, because those are the things that you can do in 2025 to help you achieve those goals. So one of the things I'm going to also encourage you to do, if you don't know already, know your strengths and your weaknesses, because that's going to come in, and I'm going to explain to you why that's important. If I were to ask you, name one strength or name 2 or 3 of your strengths, if you can't tell me as a person what your strengths are, and if you can't tell me as a person what your weaknesses are, that means you've not taken the time to know yourself. And again, that's a different training. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it today. So some of you already know your strengths and your weaknesses. Bravo to you. But if you're on this training, you don't know your strengths and your weaknesses, I want you to go back. I want you to take the time, think about yourself. Ask your friends, ask your parents, what do you think are my strengths and weaknesses? They'll tell you. Ask yourself your strengths. What are the things that comes naturally to you? It's very easy for you to do. And your weakness, what are the things you struggle to do? Some of us have very weak tempers. We can't control our emotions. We're very temperamental. That's a weakness, and so on and so forth. So, well, that's going to come in handy. I'm not saying it's when it comes to strength and weaknesses, it's not necessarily a bad or good thing. It just helps you know who you are, and it's going to help you, as I'm going to share with you later, why that's going to come in handy. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. All right, so the last thing that you have to, now you have your vision, you have your goals. The next thing, this is critical, all right? You have to plan. And I like to use acronyms because it helps me to remember. I just putting legs to achieve what you've set out to do. And I put limited to short-term goals because, like I said, we are in a new year. So pretty much, I would say focus on your short-term goals. And then the last one is to schedule it. I say if you don't schedule it, it won't happen. Most of the time, we have all these lofty goals, or we want to achieve this, and then the funny thing we do, we never put it on our calendar. And then sometimes wonder why didn't this thing happen? You didn't schedule it. You didn't think it was important enough to put it on your calendar. So it never happened. So we're going to practice how to do that now. This is going to be a very hands-on practice. I know some of you already do this, okay? But if you don't, this is going to be a good exercise for you. So I'm going to show you one way. There are so many ways, and we can talk about it later. I'm going to ask you guys to share if you have a different way, because again, we're learning. But this is in general one way I would do it. If you get out a calendar, whatever you're using, your phone or whatever, then write out. You don't have to necessarily write out everything. Like the one you see here on my screen, I did it very high level, so I'm not going, because who has time to nitpick? I'm not trying to be too specific. Well, just in general, every day, what do you do from which time to which time? Do it for Monday. I only did it for Monday, but you can do it for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I always encourage people to take one day of rest to give your body time to relax, so that you don't burn your body out. So for me, Saturdays are typically my days of rest. Then I put Sunday and everything. What you want to do is you want to find out where you have extra time to put in an activity that you need to do. So remember, now we're going to also talk about plans, but let me talk about scheduling in first. You're going to put in something that you've planned to do that will help you get to your goal or to your to what you're trying to achieve. So that's what I encourage you to do. We're gonna work on some plans now. Plans are just actual steps that you can take to meet your goals, and we're going to do that in a few seconds. But once you've done that, look at your schedule. I want you to take this seriously. Where can you fit something into your schedule? So that way, every week you can do it. You can say, okay, every week or every month or every day, or depending on what free time you have, I'm going to commit to doing this thing to help me achieve my goal. And that's a commitment you have to make. If it's only once a month, wonderful. The key here is consistency. In consistency lies the go ahead, Favor, you have a question.
Yes, thank you, man. This method, I've tried it before, but it has not really worked for me. I feel for me, it has been very rigid for me, and I don't know if there's another way we can do it that it feels less rigid. Because of any time I do it this way, like timelining my goals, my plans to achieve a particular goal is usually hard following through on them.
Okay.
I
And
don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
so let me ask you a question then. Why do you say it's hard? Just tell me some of the why is it hard for you? Is it because you write it down, you end up not doing it, or you write it down time? What give me specifics, like one specific.
I write it down and I don't end up achieving most of them. Like just a few of them. And maybe just after a few days, I'll just look at what I've written down and I've not really done enough. I've not done much. So I normally feel disappointed after following this plan.
Okay. So now my question to you is, have you been able to ask yourself why you didn't follow through? Was it because of you didn't have the time? Was it because you didn't have the motivation? What like give me one. Why didn't you follow through? Just one example. Why didn't you follow through?
I feel it is motivation. And consistency is quite hard. Yes, consistency, like being consistent with this kind of street hard line, normally
Yes.
an issue for me.
Yes, and I agree with you. Consistency is hard, and I think that's why if you have your vision in front of you all the time, in a place where you see it all the time, it keeps you motivated. But actually, Favor, you bring that's a very, very good point, because I struggle with it too, in terms of really, really keeping the consistency. Let me ask anybody, does anybody have a similar experience that they with Favor, and how did you overcome in that situation? Let's talk about that. I think we should talk about it a little. Anybody? Nobody? Okay. So
Well,
Favor, sorry, did someone want to say something?
I wanted to say I have a similar issue too, but I will not say I've overcome it. I
Okay.
think I still struggle with it too.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's I think all of us struggle with consistency. Consistency is something that all of us struggle with. What I have found helps me uh when I get off track, one one thing that helps me is, again, seeing the vision consistently before my face, because again it triggers my brain that, hey, you're trying to actually achieve something and not just, trying to live a random life. And it forces me to come back to the plan that I set out. That's what it does. And then I start from scratch. And that's why I remember in my S in the goal, remember I said you stumble. The key is to keep, when you stumble, maybe you started something and you fail, you didn't you did not keep consistent. The key thing is to keep coming back to that plan. That's one thing. Another thing, Favor, you can do that has helped me in past is that when I set a goal I found out that if I can find someone, if I give it to someone I trust to keep me accountable, this is what's called accountability. I know that you guys have heard of it, accountability partners. It has helped me in times because I have some, and the person has to be someone in the person of authority who I respect, so that it's not just like because sometimes with a friend when they remind you like, oh, whatever, when you're someone in a place of authority, you're like, ah, yes, and I give them a copy of like the vision that I'm trying to achieve and say, you know what, this is what I'm trying to achieve. Please pray for me, but also keep me accountable. Ask me as much as you can. Are you on track? Are you keeping this thing? That can also, help you. The other thing in favor you can also do is to also get like-minded people that are trying to go in the same direction that you're trying to get to. And you guys can meet. You guys can decide that you guys want to meet every week, every 2 weeks. I used to do that with a few people before. We were all in business before. We were trying to do different things in business and are not profit. So we used to meet, I think it was once a month. And once a month, we would take our time to pray about the issues we were facing. Uh, so that's another thing you can do. Find people that are going in the same direction and you guys can meet. So you guys all have your plans, you guys have your vision, you have your goals, and you guys can meet once a month and talk to each other. Okay, how are we doing? How are we not doing? So you people can also keep yourselves accountable as well. But the key thing is you see, one thing about, like I was telling you, geniuses, one thing about geniuses, they'll tell you, and if you listen to the story of Sarah Blakely, the lady I showed you guys, and also Mary Kay, you will see that there are so many obstacles, so many opportunities for them to be discouraged and give up, but they never give up. And that's the difference between it. If you really look at geniuses, and I challenge anyone on this call, go and look at the people you think are geniuses. You see that it's not so much that they have more knowledge or more anything than you and I. It's just that they refuse to give up. And that was it. They absolutely refused to give up on that day. Everybody told them you have to quit. They refused. And that's the only reason why we consider them geniuses. It's not the brain. It's not that they have a special brain. No, no, no. It's just that they refuse to give up. So just keep on at it. And even if this kind doesn't work for you, that's why I said know your strengths and weaknesses. Find out what works for you, because it's not one size fits all. What will work for me may not work for you. So find out what works for you. And I'm going to give you an example in a few minutes. There is this thing I created. It's called the SLOW model, where sometimes when I find myself drifting, because things happen, difficulties happen, I drift from my plan and vision. I find out that when I go through that exercise, it helps me to come back to what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just 99 cents. I have it on Etsy if anybody wants it. If you email me, I can send you a link to if you want to buy it. It's just 99 cents, but it helps. I don't know if it'll help you, but it helps me. Let's see. Yes. Go ahead. Someone was saying something. Okay. All right. So now, I want us to remember things to remember because we're going to talk about we're going to do our plan. That's how we're going to end today. We're going to work on our plans. One thing about your plans, things to remember: be flexible. Change the plan as often as you need, because life happens. So sometimes, like for example, if you're a student, this semester you may have a heavy load, and then next semester you may not have a heavy load. So be flexible, change the plan as often as you can, and then once you change it, stick to your plans. Try to stick to your plan. And one of the things I found out that helped me a little bit was, what I did was, because Favor, I was struggling with the same thing as you were struggling. So what I did one time, I put my plans, and we're going to work on our plans shortly. I put my plan in my phone, then I set reminders on my phone for myself, so that every time an alarm will go off, it will remind me, oh, I'm supposed to be working on this. So that helped me. And I said it again, don't give up. Like riding a bicycle. For those of you who learned how to ride a bicycle, how many times did you fall? How many times did you fall? So again, don't give up. And I said also review your goals. Please, if you're not talking, kindly mute yourself so that we're not don't distract. So I said review your goals periodically. If you want to do every 3 months, every 6 months, once a year, it's really up to you. But review them just to remind yourself, okay, what am I actually trying to achieve? And then I said the last thing I said, use techniques that suit your unique self. And so Favor, this is something that hopefully will help you, but let me explain to you. One of my weaknesses, and I have a lot of weaknesses, right? I have strengths, but I also have weaknesses. Because I'm a very the kind of person I get bored very easily with things. That's just who I am. So you know what I do? I try different things. Like I'll try it, like I told you one time I tried it on my phone, then sometimes I always have a planner. That's one thing about me. I always have a planner that I use every year. So I write it. So what I used to do before, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is to plan my day. I actually sit down and write what I intend to do that day. And I find that every time I plan my day in the morning or maybe the night before, I tend to achieve more than if I did not plan that day. So I don't know if you do that, but that can help. That for me, my personality, because the way I am, I find that just sitting down in the morning and just planning, okay, what do I want? What am I supposed to do today? Helps me. It helps me stay focused. It helps me I may not accomplish every single thing I want to accomplish, but I tend to accomplish more on days where I planned than days I did not plan. So maybe that's one key takeaway from us today. Okay, we may not achieve everything, but at least we're moving towards our target. So maybe we can all learn to be more intentional and plan our day. So that's one thing, knowing your personality or who you are helped me. One other thing is this. I can say that I I wouldn't call myself a careless person, but sometimes I'm so careful I forget where I kept something. So you know what I do? If it's something I need to remember, something that is important, something that I want to have a constant reminder, I print several copies and then I put it in different places all over my place so that I go to the living room, I see a copy. I go to here, I open my book, I see a copy. I walk into my journal at night, I see a copy, and my Bible, I see a copy. That just works for me because I know that if I just print one copy, I probably will lose it in a few days. So I print several copies, I put it in different places. That just help. Again, that's just my weakness, and I'm compensating for my weakness. That's how it helps me. One thing I also try to do is, because I know how my brain works, again, going back to knowing yourself. So typically, this is how my brain works. I wake up in the morning. Anything before noon, if I don't drink coffee, my brain typically is not fully awake. Then from like noon, my brain comes alive. It wakes up. Then it stays awake till like maybe 6 or 7 at night. Then it goes back to sleep. What does that mean? That just means for me, if I have something that requires a lot of brain power, like if I'm studying for something or something that requires a lot of thinking, I try to, when I can, it's not always possible, but when I can, try to schedule it in the afternoon, because then my brain is fully awake. I can, by God's grace, give full attention to this thing. Then I try to schedule other things that may not require as much brain power, either in the morning or at night. So some of you who are my team, sometimes you notice you see text from me late at night. That's because I'm up, and that's because I'm working on that thing at that time. So know yourself. Again, if you don't know yourself, like I'm telling you, team, if you cannot tell me, if I ask you today, you can't tell me 3 of your strengths and 3 of your weaknesses. In fact, that should be your priority. Go find out who you are. Go discover yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And then your strengths you already know. So compensate for your weaknesses. figure out how to compensate for your weaknesses. So I hope that was helpful. So now I want us to in the final few minutes, I want us to that goal we set, right? I want us to plan what are specific steps for the goals that you set that you can do starting from today. What steps can you do? And when you're done with those steps, I want you to schedule it. Whether if you have a physical journal, go write it in your physical journal. If you're using your phone, use your phone. If you're using your iPad, use your iPad. If you're on this call and you don't have a schedule or a planner, then that's another assignment. Go get a planner, whether you use your phone or your iPad or your however you want to do it. Because the thing is, you moving forward, we need to be intentional. Don't just live anyhow all over. No. We've got to be intentional. We're moving towards a target. And so we want to be intentional. So the first thing, you need some sort of thing that you're using to plan your schedule, whether it's your phone, iPad, a physical planner, or you can use I use a combination of all of them. I use both a physical planner, like I'm going to get a planner, and I also use my devices. So in the final few minutes, I want us to write our plan. Just pick any goal that you are trying to reach. What plan, in other words, what do you need, what can you do starting from today to help you achieve that goal? What practical, it has to be practical. What practical step can you make today, starting from today, that you can use to achieve that goal? So I want us to, let's just take one more minute, because we're at almost, our time is almost up. Take one more minute, write down your plan. How are you going to achieve that goal? So please, let's just do that quickly. And also, as you're writing down your plan, try to figure out, do you want to do it once a week? Do you want to do it every day? Again, put time to it. Okay, we're at time. All right. So again, I hope this was very helpful to you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot. In the final few minutes, are there any questions, or does anybody have anything they want to share? And I can share an example of what I wrote, just so you guys can see what I did. So I put my vision in at the beginning, what I want to achieve, what I see when I close my, what do I see? I see a very healthy person. But I also see, one of the visions I wrote, I want to be a successful speaker, a motivational speaker. That's one of my vision. For my goal, I have long-term and short-term goals. The steps that I need to be that. I wrote that I need to attend speaking classes. And for me, that's a short-term goal, because I think I can easily find speaking classes around me. So I put like 3 months. I need to practice speaking. So I need to have an audience where I'm practicing speaking. I need to reach out to schools and churches to speak. So I actually need to start doing it. Because the more you do something, the better you are. And that's also for me a short-term goal, because that's something I can start this year. I don't have to wait till next year. But I also I have to learn how to use PowerPoint very well. I can use PowerPoint, but I think I can improve on my PowerPoint presentation skills. So I put that's a short-term goal for me. I think that's something that I can achieve by God's grace achieve this year. But one long-term goal I put was there's this John Maxwell who I should share with you guys. He has a coaching course that he does. I put it as a long-term goal because it's quite expensive and I don't know necessarily that I want to do it right now. So I put it to maybe 2 years, to take me 2 years. So give me time to build my hopefully coaching career and then I can think about doing it. For my plan, what I put is that I want to take a free PowerPoint course because I feel like I need to have good presentation skills if I'm going to be a motivational speaker. So I want to take a free PowerPoint course twice a week. I think I can squeeze out like 30 minutes in my schedule to just do a free. They're on YouTube. There are free PowerPoint courses that I can take just to improve my presentation skills. And then the other thing I want to do is that I want to take free speaking courses. I think I can find that online as well. So I want to, and I think I can devote like twice a week to do that. So those are some of the plans that I wrote. So, anything else? Does anybody else have any questions? Anything else that comes to mind? Anybody else? Anything? Okay, so team, I want to appreciate you all for joining. If you'd like to be a part, I don't know how many of you are a part of our group or a part of our organization. If we have your email, if not, please you can either put your email in the chat, or please you can, if you'd like to be a part of our on our mailing list and be a part of what we're doing, you can either put your email in the chat so we can get back to you, or you can send us an email at everyyouthaleader@gmail.com and just let us know that you want to be a part of our group. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Anything else? All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day and God bless.
Yes, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Thank you for the talk, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma. This was very rich. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Sister Stella.
You're
That
most
was profound.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hey, Favor. Hey, Daniel. Okay, so, it's just three of us, and I don't know if the other people will join, but I just wanted to um. So I didn't talk about this during the meeting, but I wanted to talk to you. Can you guys hear me? First of all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys. So you guys are helping us do this work, all right? This is God's work. This is not just any work. And I feel that anyone that's on our team should be excelling in their studies and really excelling in any area of in their lives, because this work that we're doing is not just any work. Um, we are doing God's work. So what I want to share with you guys is certain things that helped me when I was in school, when I used to be in school. Um, Thank God you all are Christians. So what I want to ask you guys to do is to make sure that when you are doing your work, that you are inviting God into that work to help you. Because the thing about it is this, uh, the God has more knowledge and more everything than we do. I know you all know that, right? But the thing is, God will not, the way that the Lord operates, He will not enter into anything that we don't give to Him. So if you don't take the time when you are getting ready to study, or when you start your semester, to invite God into that thing you're doing, He's not going to force Himself on you. You have to ask Him. So I want you guys, please, to first of all make sure you have a vision for your semester. What grade are you aiming for? And I want you guys to please aim for the highest grade. Anybody that is doing God's work, to me, you should be excelling in every area of your life, because you're not doing it in your power. You're doing it by the power of the Holy Spirit. So that's the first thing. I want you guys to please have a vision, have a plan, have a goal that for what you want to achieve this semester, this semester. Then I want you guys remember in the book of Daniel, this Daniel chapter 1, the Bible says that God gave those young men more wisdom and knowledge than all their counterparts. God can give you wisdom and knowledge that is even greater than your teachers. And that's what I want you guys to do. Try this approach this semester and see. You guys at the end of the semester, come back and tell me if it worked. At the beginning of your day, like everything we did today, I want you guys, please be intentional about doing it. I want you guys to try it, see if it works, if it made a difference, then tell me at the end of the semester if it worked or didn't, okay? That's what I want you guys to do. So everything we talked about today, I want you guys to go back, go and get a vision and your goals and your plan for this semester. Okay? What goal do you want to achieve? What plan do you want to achieve this semester? What grade? Like I said, uh aim for the highest. Aim for the highest. Okay. Don't say it's not possible. Just aim for the highest. If you want me to hold you accountable, you can if you guys want me to hold you accountable, you can send me your plans and your goals. I can hold it so that at the end of the semester I'll follow up with you guys if you guys want, but you don't have to. But every one of us, every one of you, I want you guys to have a vision, a goal, and a plan for how you want your semester to go. Then I want you guys before you start your day, plan the day. What are you going to be studying, when, how, what meeting and everything. Get a planner. If you don't have a planner, use your phone, or if you want a planner, just get there. I think they are I don't know how much they are in Nigeria. If you need help with buying a planner, just let me know. If you don't have the money, let me know. I'm happy to, from the little, you guys, some of you know I don't have a job. I haven't had a job for a while, but little that God has given me, I don't mind. But plan your day. Get into the habit every day or the night before. Plan what are you going to do? When are you going to do it? Plan that day. Before you read, Get into the habit of asking God, God, okay, I'm getting ready to read. Come and help me. Show me what to read. Open my brain to grasp this concept. Grant me speed so that it doesn't take me as long to understand and comprehend. When you're getting ready to take your test, ask God, Lord, I'm getting ready to pray before you take that test. When I was in college, there was a day I wasn't feeling well. I was getting ready to take a test. I almost wanted to tell the professor I wasn't feeling well. I was like, cancel. I said no. Let me go ahead and take the test like that. So I did. And do you know, as I was in the test, I was right there in the test. As I was trying to remember, it was a math test. I was trying to remember, recall what was going on. Do you know, I just felt the Holy Spirit just speak to me. This is the answer. So I was just hearing it in my spirit as I was just writing it. I was just writing as I was hearing. When I did my WAEC, because I schooled in Lagos until I came to the US. I came to the US for my college, but I schooled in secondary school in Lagos. What we would do before we had the night before every exam, I would pray and say, God, this exam, you know the questions that are coming. Show me where I should be studying. You know, because my friends, my classmates, some of them would read all night. I tried it, it didn't work. I couldn't read all night. So I was like, God, it was the Holy Spirit that gave me that. God, you know where what questions are coming in. As I'm getting ready to study this night, show me where to study. And I cannot tell you how many times I would study something either the night before or just before I got into the exam. As soon as I got into the exam, what I had studied either the night before or just before I got into the exam, I would see it on the exam. Of course, I ended up doing very well. Not because I was the most intelligent student. I wish I could ask you guys to talk. They will tell you I wasn't like one of the top, top. But I did very well. Why? Because I asked God to help me. So, team, we are doing God's work. Why shouldn't you people excel in other areas of your life? It hurts me when I hear things, because I'm like, if you're doing God's work, why shouldn't you be blessed? Why shouldn't you be blessed in every area of your life? So that's what I want to. That's why I said you guys should please wait behind. So please, you guys, this semester, I want to see excellence in your studies. I want to see excellence in every area of your life. If we are doing God's work, we should be partaking of God's goodness in every area of our lives. But the thing is, God will not force himself on us. You have to ask him for help. And if you ask him, try it. Try it this semester. Before you pray, before you do anything, just ask God, God, come and help me as I'm getting ready to whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's your studies, God, come and help me. And at the end tell me, I want you guys to tell me your testimonies at the end of the semester. Even if it's a difficult professor you had. You know, I had one difficult professor when I was in college. The guy told me, because I was taking difficult courses. I was a chemistry major, and I was taking difficult courses that semester. I was taking like 4 heavy courses. And the professor said to me, he said, these are his exact words. He said, you can't pray your way through this one. These are his exact, I'm not adding anything. This guy said, I cannot pray my way through this thing. That's what he told me. So I went to my fellowship and I said, look, you guys, this professor said I cannot actually pray my way through this course. And I said to them, I said, this is a challenge of God. So I have to, not only do I have to do very well, I have to get all A's. Guess what? I got all A's by God's grace, because God helped me. Because I asked him, I challenged, I said, God, this is a challenge for you. This professor said I cannot pray my way to, so you have to show up. Guess what? God showed up. I got all A's that semester. And I will tell you guys one thing. I hope you guys are listening to me. I can't see your faces, but this is very important to me. And the reason is this is important. I want you guys to excel in your studies. I want everybody to get the highest distinction, because you're going to need it when you go and look for a job and everything. If I show you my college transcript, the semesters where I had a vision, a goal, and a plan. Favor, that answers your question that you're asking me, that sometimes you're not but even if you're not consistent, one thing you will see is that I can show you my transcript every semester where I came with a vision, a goal, and a plan. I ended up doing very well that semester. And the semesters that I did not have a goal, a vision, and a plan, I didn't do well at all. I didn't do well. I can show you my transcript and I'll tell you, and I remember maybe because I was going through a difficult time, I did not do well. So again, put what we've learned, even if you may not be as consistent, but what you will see is that you achieve more. Even if you're not as consistent as you feel that you need to be, you still achieve more than if you don't do these things that we talked about today. And don't let discouragement set in, because the thing that distinguishes people who succeed and people who don't is people who don't, they let discouragement stop them. I don't know if you guys are you guys following Elon Musk? Do you guys follow Elon Musk on Twitter? How many of you follow Elon Musk?
I don't follow him, but I actually see his works.
Have you seen how many rockets they try to launch, Daniel?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How many? Who can tell me? Just give me an idea.
He has actually launched a lot until he was able to
launch a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that's what he said. You know what he said? He said that he actually prefers to even try to launch the rocket and it fails than them not to try it at all. Because it's in the failure that they figure out what's right and what's wrong. So his philosophy is that let's launch as much as we can, even if they fail, and we'll just be learning. The guy who created the bulb, what's his name? What's his name now? Oh, the guy that created the light bulb, what's his name? Oh God, it will come to me. The guy did 1,000 experiments that failed. And he just kept doing it over and over again. So Favor, I said all that to you. It's not just you, Favor. All of us, we all go through discouragement. It's a part of life. But the key thing is, after you go through, just go through. Don't let discouragement stop you. Yes, you'll be discouraged. After you are discouraged, but dust the discouragement off yourself and try again and keep trying. And then try different things. Maybe this one may not work for you. Try something else. And that's why knowing yourself helps. Like if you know how how do you learn? How, how does your brain work? Some people, is it that you prefer to hear? If maybe you're an audio, some people, they like to hear, they don't like to read, they don't like to see. They just like then, try and see if you can get audio books or, record your lectures. If you're an audio learner, ask your professor if he doesn't mind. Bring your phone, record the lecture so that when you go back, you can listen to it, because that's how some people are like that. They like to hear. Or are you a visual person? So know yourself. Try different things. Figure out which one works for you. Like me, like I told you guys, I use my planner because I like to write things. I like writing things because I feel like when I write it, it puts it on my brain versus when I don't write it. So I like to write things, but find out what works for you and do what works for you. But you guys, I really, really want to see you guys succeed, and that's why I asked you guys to stay behind. I want to see excellence in everything you guys are doing. You guys are, like I told you, this work we're doing is God's work. We're not just another organization. Where this is something God really is close to the heart of God. God wants to bless you guys. We can't really pay you guys the way, if I had the money, I would pay you guys, but we're not there yet. That's part of why I really would like to get sponsors so that we can, be able to, do more, pay you guys more and things like for the time that you are committing. But God will bless each and every one of you. I expect you guys to excel. I want to see excellence this semester. you guys try and put in some of these things before you do anything. Ask God to help you. God will help you. He will help you. He is brilliant. He is brilliance himself. He will help you. And then at the end of the semester, come and tell me tell me what worked. If it worked for you, did you achieve your goal? Did you just tell me? Give me, you guys give me your testimonies of what happened. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right, you guys. Sorry, I know I took too long. I was rambling, but I just want you guys to succeed. That's why I was like, let me take the time to talk to you guys. All right, you guys have a good rest of your day. Okay. God bless you. Thank you. Bye. God bless you all. Bye. Yeah, God bless you. Bye.